Good morning, Michael from NCY Store. We got our new GoPro, this is called Session 5 here, and we're going to test it out. I activated voice command, did a little settings, very simple setting, you know, the little buttons here, you push on top a little bit, kind of get your configuration. I think it's a one button push, but we're going to go and test out the voice command, let it record, so we're going to hopefully capture a different angle. I'm not really sure because it doesn't really show you, there's a backside or anything like that to show you what you're actually focusing on, so it might be a little bit challenging for me to see if it actually, because I usually can get to the back of my phone right here and kind of, you know, reposition it when I know that I'm not out of alignment. So, but we're going to go and continue on where we left off. Our cylinder head, you know, we already took it out. It's been dried out from the, you know, gasoline bath. So now we're going to go ahead and just finish and clean it up and reassemble it back for a backup, just in case the whole setup here goes berserk. Which I doubt it. So let's go and get the valve spring tools and everything. When we actually have that assembled, we're going to go ahead and reinstall the valves and everything on there. Let's go ahead and have GoPro also record it now. I think the good lighting here. GoPro has a way bigger eyeball, so I'm assuming it's going to capture a little bit more wider. That's probably the reason why people would choose it versus using their phone from their camera. It has 10 megapixel, and I guess it can record in 4K. It has stabilization, which is also turned on, which draws a little bit more of your battery. Now, if you do it on 4K, I heard that, which you have to have a 4K TV for one thing, but it doesn't actually support stabilization. So I'm just recording in, I believe, 1080. Let me make sure. So all you do is your settings here. This is your little button right here. You push there. Let's see if I can push it with my gloves on. See, I can't even see nothing. There we go. Okay, and then what you do is you siphon this. Kind of goes backward here. Let me get the resolution on. Okay, so it's on phone, blah, blah, blah. All right. Camera settings, stabilization, voice control, connection. Stabilization is on. Yeah, it's recording on 4K right now. So let me, actually, you know what? Let's try it on 4K. We don't need stabilization because we're actually just putting it here on the surface. Let's see how good 4K is, huh? Okay, so it's 4K at 30 something. Who knows what that means? And it's connected, blah, blah, blah. It's still charging too. I had it hooked on charge. It uses one of those Type-C charger, which I rather, preferably if it uses a regular micro USB, because my phone is still Note 5. It's still the same traditional. And then I also have my helmet that has the Bluetooth headset built in, SRL by Cena or something, and that's also still the same micro USB. So I rather have micro USB preferably, and most people have a micro USB laying around everywhere. It's more commonly found in the Type-C, you know, these ones here. It came out around 2016, but this is still their smallest one. They call it the Note 5 session, and they'll say here like Hero Session 5. There you go. So we'll see how I do. Right now it's not recording right now, it's just charging, but I can tell it to. All you have to do is just say like GoPro record video, and it should start right there. But anyway, let me see if I can do it again. GoPro record video. Recognize me, or is I probably turned it off by not knowing it. Okay, let's go ahead and hit the little button here. One button to record, one button to not record. Okay, it's automatically recording. You can see the timer just kind of beeped out. But now that it's on, I could probably tell it not to record anymore. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, there we go. GoPro, record. Video. Forgot the key word. I think you have to say video. GoPro, record video. There we go. Now it's blinking, that little blinker. That's pretty much it. And then you can tell it stop whenever you want to. So we're going to go ahead and continue on where we left off. I think I got a good angle here. Systematically, it looked like it's aiming for it. So we're going to go ahead and just clean up. Now I have no, I'm using the same tripod, so now I have no tripod to mount my camera. But that's all right. I'm just going to do a light cleanup anyway. And we'll see from there how it looks. Or in fact, maybe I can actually merge the GoPro feed into my, I guess my other feed here. So it's 4K, so I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it, but we'll see. I think I might be able to. Who knows? Merge with my 10 regular HD here with the 4K recording of GoPro. I might be able to get that out of the way. But yeah, it doesn't seem too bad here. We're just getting all that little white debris off. I did find out that both of them actually had it, so I don't know why we only have one left out of the whole stack that should have been available. But let's get this assembled out of the way. That way we don't have to worry about our cylinder head anymore or other loose components, and it'll be a great way to grab it when we need it as a backup. So just getting down here, wiping all the little leftover residue, the little white spattle. We did the best we can on it. Doesn't look too bad at all. Okay, get all that debris out. No more gasoline bath. That's already been emptied and dumped out. So one less finalized step. So far it's recording for about a minute. It seems like it tells you the timer here, 1 minute and 34. And since it's hooked onto the thing, it'll probably go for as long as the storage is here. It stores the maximum SD card is 128 gigabyte. So doesn't seem that bad. You have to actually Wi-Fi connect it to your phone and stuff like that. And sometimes you have a bad connection. It's very hard to, you know, have your phone kind of see through. It's, you know, it's like it puts it in a, I don't know, handshakes somewhere in the cloud or something. But you can pay for a service where it automatically, you know, uploads your video for you into a cloud from your SD card. I think you still need an SD card just so you can actually delete it back off the SD card or whatever, for convenience. So that's service there. If you break it, they'll replace it or something like that too. The customer service is pretty cool. They try to be helpful. I did the little payment on the Google, and unfortunately my Google Pay is different than my regular normal email. So I guess it didn't link the two together. And we're trying to resolve that, so I had to cancel that Google Pay subscription from them, GoPro, and then I had to resubscribe again. I'm not sure if I'll keep it. It's a 30-day month trial. I'm not sure if I'll have a need for that, to be honest with you. The only advantage I have on that one is you can buy their official gear, which their gear is really good quality. I mean, you have, you know, the gear. These aren't actually the gear. These aren't GoPro gear. These are aftermarket ones. But the actual official GoPro gear, this wire harness is GoPro gear. I'll say it on there like GoPro right there. See? See, it says GoPro. This one right here, but this is an Anchor charger still. I use my quick charger here for my phone, and I use it for the slow charge, regular IQ, let's say intelligent charging, just for the GoPro. So yeah, I'm trying to get all these gadgets working because this is going to be my ride buddy. He's going to be my dash cam sort of, so be able to give you guys an eye view of how it is. Because you can't really put. I tried to use my Note 5 as my dash cam, and it was vibrating like crazy. It wasn't worth it. All you saw was like I was like, you know, it looked like I was riding in the ocean or something, or I was Aquaman or something, because that's all you saw was a whole bunch of shake. So this has stabilization. What it does is it actually cuts some of your video a little bit. So, you know, instead of having, you know, the bounce effect, what it does, it cuts some of your videos, things out that you can't see. It does it, you know, by software. And so, you know, what you're really seeing is the aftermath effect of that cutting, which that's why it stabilizes. So it does it by software. It's not like a gimbal or anything like that where physically it's actually balancing it for you, so you're not losing any video cut. So with the GoPro, which is cool because, you know, I mean, it's not like every second you need to make sure you capture that one moment or anything like that. But what it is it just slices it really fastly in the milliseconds or something like that, where it captures the part where it bumps like that. So that's why it can actually stabilize. So that's what I was told it does. So it has about, I think, an hour and 10 minutes recording time. I think on 4K it might be lesser. And then if you're, you know, using the, you know, if it doesn't a lot of video stabilization, if you had it turned on, it's going to drain out the battery even faster. But I think it would standard like that, you could probably get away with an hour and 50 minutes if it's just like stationed there. You know, it doesn't have to work so hard. It does get hot a little bit on the screen and stuff like that. I just want to share that with you. I was just testing it out for the first time. I'm not sure I could feel the heat yet. Nope. Well, I put my thumb in there now. It's going to capture that recording as well, so you know exactly where I'm at. The microphone, unfortunately, I'm told that it cannot synchronize more than just your mobile. I'm like, why? Because I have the Cena built in with the Bluetooth and the microphone in there. I guess GoPro makes it a ways like Steve Jobs for you. They want to make sure that you use some of their stuff. So you have to buy the external microphone and everything. I mean, the wrist strap alone was like $45. I can imagine what the electronics is going to cost to, you know, connect the sucker together. So yeah, the microphone built in might cost you another maybe $50 or so, just for a microphone extension to, you know, you can carry it with you or you can put it underneath your helmet or whatever. But I'm thinking I already have a nice, you know, communication built into the, you know, the helmet already. You know, it's an independent system with Bluetooth. Why can't it just, you know, synchronize that Bluetooth, you know what I mean, to work? But unfortunately they won't do it. So so now you have a whole bunch of separate components. That's the only gripe I have about that right now. It weighs not that bad, you know what I mean? You really don't feel like it. Probably definitely weighs a little bit heavier than all the other stuff combined, but it doesn't weigh too much heavy. I do have a little strap for my head on there. I could put it on there, but I think the height alone might not really give you guys an accurate view than actually having it like stationed somewhere. So anyway, I'm just going around in circles on this guy here. So he's ready to go. Let's go ahead and assemble him. I believe all his counterparts were, let me go grab it. I think they're in here, if I'm not mistaken. These might be the old ones. Oh, by the way, I also got some of these guys here from the hardware store. It wasn't much, it was like a couple bucks. So we can go and take care of that and make that a little bit more tighter. Everything's looking phenomenal. I think we're going to go and fire it up shortly. We'll keep the engine oil in there, the gear motor oil in there, as long as there's motor oil and gear oil, and we have a little bit of gas to be able to flood our thing. And I was told that sometimes you might not even have to need to push this up, because in situation you might be able to fire it up with, you know, because this will actually, you know, flood your float bowl for you. You need that in like really extreme cold weather or something like that, or having a hard time starting it. So we're probably going to pretty much charge our battery and get that one going. This is probably the one here from it. Yeah, see, it should have one more of the shims here, actually, because I opened a brand new one, and it had both shims, so we could probably maybe rob the shims. I'm thinking we can, from the Kickstarter mechanism, even though that's not really originally from it, but I think it's the same size as shim, right? So why not? So we can rob the shim from this guy right here. So the only disadvantage is I cannot see while I'm recording on the GoPro. I'm assuming that the lens will eventually be there. Again, the GoPro is still over there. Okay, I'm not using, yeah, I'm still using my Samsung Galaxy Note 5 recording. So let's go ahead and put this, the teeth are in there. Hopefully the teeth didn't fail. Okay. Now I wish I didn't have that GoPro yet on this tripod, but what can you do, right? What's there is there. Okay. So, hey, let's see if I can even practice and do this with one hand. I can say, look how easy it is. I can even do this with one hand. Now, I know one of them is a really good tight tension, so we might have a little bit of trouble. Let's go and find our little rubber boot there. One for, well, the one that we really need to put in is just this one right here. So this is the one that's going to be putting it in. All right, so let's go ahead and try to get that on there. Exhaust, and then we got all our intake. Tell right there from the top of the hose there. This is definitely the intake. Make sure I have 4 pieces of teeth. That looks good. Our exhaust. Just probe that in there. GoPro. Hope you guys are you're capturing this. Look at that. I just said GoPro, and it's kind of wake itself up a little bit. It looked like it's highlighting. Okay, here we go. Weird. I'm almost afraid of it. It's like a brain of his own. Alright. Watch when I say something. Hey, GoPro. It does something. Well, it woke it up for one thing. Or it highlights it. Let me say, GoPro highlight. Look at that. See that what it says? You see it? GoPro highlight. Highlighting tagged or something like that. I don't know. Alright, so let's go ahead and put one. I guess we have to feed one at a time in. So let me go and feed the exhaust in. And then we can push our... There we go. And then we can align this because I like to be aesthetically pleasing. Let's see here. It's going to go this way, right? Well, it's going to go inward like this. So, but still. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this around. BF intake. And then exhaust. BF exhaust. Should we do it opposite? It's gonna come up like this anyway, but yeah, let's do it, you know, aesthetically the same direction. Let's see if I got a hold of that correctly. Okay, I'm doing this, try and do it with one hand. There we go. How's that? Okay, now got to put in this guy here to protect it from protruding out prematurely. There we go. Alright, so let's give this dirty one to the exhaust because he's already dirty. Dirty, rotten. Alright, so if you can see here, it should funnel in. There we go. It hits that little slight groove there. And our new one, well, actually this one's dirty just as much. So it doesn't really matter. Now they're even. Alright, this one here goes right there. So yeah, they each get one. And then we're ready. It doesn't really matter now. The valve springs are universal. So we can put the small valve springs inside. Then the big one comes over. And then the same thing with this one. Okay. Hope GoPro is capturing all this. I think voice command takes a little bit more of the battery juice too, because it always has to stay alert for you. Just like everything in life, it's the more you have to focus, the more energy is going to take. So now this is going to be the challenge here, putting these teeth in. I wish I could do it. You know what? Let me do it without the gloves. I'm going to set this down for a second here. I know I'm cheating a little bit, but I'm going to try. Here we go. Just going to take off my gloves, okay? I got to take the gloves off. The gloves are coming off. All right. In fact, I'll just take both of them off. That way I can feel better. Your skin helps you feel better. Okay, now this thing is going to give me a bit of a challenge. If I put it incorrectly, I have to take the whole thing, shamble out. Make sure the wider lip is kind of like a cone shape. Make sure you cone it in. So there we go. That's 1 down, 3 to go. Okay. There you go. You might have to lift up in order to get it all in there. In fact, might be best to put these after the retainers, or put in. I know you can go by way of feeling it. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. One hand. And you know what? Just for namesake, instead of me trying to do twice right now, let me try to do just one. Okay, 1 hand attempt. Okay, trying to poke this. I'm not sure which side this one is in, but we'll find out after it's been in. Okay, so here we go. What it's going to do is going to hold the retraction here, this valve tool, and it's going to keep it in. It's going to keep alignment anyway. Okay, push down. Hear it snap. All right. Look at that. Oh boy. See that? That's not good. You can see that right there. Well, maybe you can see it better here. That's not what you want. You want it to firmly flush. It barely just gripped on. So that's not a problem at all. All you gotta do is just bring this guy back in here, right? And just go ahead and kind of bump him around until it all fits well, like that. That's it. How easy is that? Now I believe this one, if I'm not mistaken, let's go and take this off real quick. It's the intake side. The intake probably was easier than exhaust. For some reason, the exhaust was super tight. When we tried to take it off last time, you remember we had to use a mallet hammer, and I think we could have put a cloth there, protect it more, but it worked. All right, let's go ahead and take this guy off, and we need 2 more teeth. We need 2 more teeth to finish this project here. See, GoPro has a pretty wide camera. You can look at the eyes. It looks like it captures such a wide angle. I guess that's why people favor it for sports activities and everything like that. All right, there we go. Get our retainers in here. We can put one at a time. Maybe I got lucky on the first one. This is probably what's going to take me like half an hour, right? Come on, like popcorn, buddy. Oh, I thought I had it slanted in there. One thing about it, it won't fall through the other end, but it just makes it so difficult. There we go. Look at that. 1 hand again. All right, let's go back for another round. This is probably the most tightest one, even though now we just added those little washers. So let me go ahead. I am cheating a little bit because I'm holding it with a little palm here, or a little pinky here, just to make sure I got some grip on it. Okay, so I'm gonna push. Actually, you know what? This feels pretty good. Well, feeling good is when, oh man, this went easy. What? Maybe there's something else that was stuck up when we, because this is the same cylinder head. Lost connection for whatever reason. Now it went back to solid. So let's go ahead and try to see if we can command it again. GoPro, record video. Still learning this thing. GoPro, record video. Let's push this to wake it up or something. I know it's on the charger. Okay, so right there, it's turned on, but it's not recording. So let me go ahead. This might be part 2 of it. GoPro, record video. Really? You want to sleep on me? That's only another gripe I have. Look, this is how much USB cable they give you. Really? Come on. Do they not realize that sometimes you're trying to record and mainly your battery is not going to be right next to the GoPro itself? It's just, I'm sure they will love to upsell you on a longer extension, but I just really need something that, you know, out of the box, ready to go. I mean, I think GoPro is facing some competition, so they got so much more other companies making out smaller gadgets. You got DJI, is it, or something? They make the gimbal, but they also now start making the drones and the gimbal. And then you have also, I believe it's GY6 or something like that. So there's so much competition GoPro has to face now. I think it's recording now. There we go. It's 12 seconds in recording. The only reason I can tell is recording because it's flashing. Okay, so anyway, we got that done. I think it looks really nice. I'm not sure we can twist it still. Let's try. I mean, this is not perfectly aligned the way I wanted the BFEX. Let's see which way it's supposed to go. Okay, it's supposed to go more right this way. I think it's just... Oh man, look, you can twist it. So I need to twist it the other way. There we go. It's coming. Getting a feel for it. Little twist like that makes a huge turn on it. Awesome. So there we go. We're finished, GoPro. GoPro, pause. That's highlights. All right. Anyway, okay, that's done. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. Well, just gonna put it back in our Taida box because we want to protect it from dust. Because we worked so hard in getting it cleaned up to this point. And again, this will be ready as a backup just in case our Taida itself here fell out on us. So let's go and see what else we got. We got to install our exhaust. We're going to probably do a new brace on this one because I'm really scared this guy right here is going to protrude eventually. Look at that one. Or we can hammer this guy back to where it's supposed to be. Or we can just cut a new slack, you know what I mean? That way it doesn't have this little scrap of metal. No retaliation or something. So we'll probably cut a new one of these brace here to be able to mount our exhaust. And then we're probably going to pretty much mount our Hakira lights here. I'm still looking forward to it. It's got that adapter. For some reason, I did start noticing my scooter dying prematurely. Almost dying. You remember when we did it was struggling with the battery? So that has probably something to do with it drawing a certain amount of wattage or something maybe from our Shure battery. So we'll find out for sure, or maybe we just had a really poor connection. I did contact the Shure and they didn't really tell me too much on this. They just don't, you know, they don't have a ground, they said, or something like that. It just uses, you know, I guess the harness from the car. So I figured you have to have a ground wire. One's high and one's low. It doesn't work that way, I guess, with them. So we'll find out what's the deal with that, and we'll try to, you know, get it wired up. Because I believe these will actually give us a little bit more narrow focus and not just like, you know, blinding us for no reason. It's going to give us a little bit more narrow, in-depth, you know, zoom in view. And then we got to put the exhaust on there. So we got the gasket for the exhaust. This is the little housing here that comes with the Hakira. So we'll get that in there. Just put it all in there, loose parts right now. We got quite a bit to do. We got to install back our ground wire onto our valve covers, which we'll open that up and do. Our spark plug here, choose one. Let's choose the most newest one so we can get the idea. You know, I'm not going to open a third spark plug because this one I didn't realize I had it already. I could have just used it, but it's cleaned up much as it can. So we'll use this one. So we'll monitor and look at the condition of this right now. And it should actually stay at this kind of color really for a while. So it's kind of a nice copper brown looking. So this is the one we're going to use to put on there. We're not going to use this guy right here. Use this a little bit. We'll use him as a backup. How about that? But actually, you know, after you put him in, it should look like this guy right here, really. But this guy's newer, so we'll put him in there. He was the last one in there, so we'll put him back in there. Let's go and take them both out. Okay, so now let's see what else. I don't think GoPro can actually get the angle from underneath his legs here. Maybe he can. Let's see how far. If he can actually get the spark plug, I'll be surprised. So it's still recording in, I believe, 4K at 30 frames per second. See how it's fluctuating. It's telling you upside down. Sorry. Wide. So it's telling you it's recording wide. So far as 4 minutes and 30 seconds. NCY exhaust gasket, which we're not going to utilize. We're going to stick with what the Taida one has for us. So we're going to try to install that one instead. The old Taida valves, I'll leave that out alone. Alright, so that's it for right now. Let's go ahead and put this guy back in here, keep him for safe. I like to face it, maybe protect the valves from getting chiseled, because these guys can take a little bit more of a beating. I'll put it facing down. And then we'll put back all our little accessories here and there. I'll put our tool back in here. That wasn't really hard to do. I was really surprised at how the valve springs were able to cap in. Maybe all that sludge buildup or something was holding it back, huh? Again, the valve spring is a very useful tool. And here's the other ones that when you're ready to take it off, you remember it's just a hollow. I don't think there is any compression at the bottom of this. It's just a hollow where it breaks off and it just springs back and puts the teeth, keeps the teeth in there or something like that. Should have a magnet, huh? That way. Well, maybe not. I did have a magnet. Then it'll probably always grip. All right, so we already got done the PWK carb. We set it the way it was, would have the perfect tension. And I found out that you actually can flex this. That's just normal. It's made to be able to move around. You're not damaging anything internally. And that's it. I think the next step we're going to do is get our battery or get the exhaust. We can even get the exhaust out now. And I guess we can mount the exhaust, do the exhaust mounting. We're going to have to put the bolts on the exhaust. So our bolts for the exhaust is right here. We're going to need an Allen driver for it. Let's see here. Oh, did we also tie strap our fuel line yet? No, we did not. So we got quite a bit of stuff to take care of. Here it goes. Let's go ahead and tie strap right now our fuel line. One of the simplest things we could do right now, starting off. You can see here we did pretty good with that little metal thing bar. I hope it's not going to crush. I think, sorry. I think our seat is going to allow us to tilt it this way. I think the bar does have a little space in between. I don't think the seat just sits here and closes up right here. If it does, then we can scoot these guys to the side like these. So that should be fine. We also got to clamp this guy with the new clamp. I kind of like to do everything consistent, so I'll probably even get something smaller for here. Even though I love the stainless steel look of these guys, but and they might be weak too. So the other color is more like this color. Well, I can show you. It wasn't that far off from each other. There we go. I got a Kellogg's Hardware. I'm not sure you guys have those. I'm not sure if they're a big chain or just a family-owned hardware store. But yeah, these are it right here. So you got the silver one that came with the original Naruku one, and then I got these guys here. They look a little bit more. They're probably the same. 10mm socket to drive them, or even 8mm, if I'm mistaken. But we'll put one in there for right now. Kind of like to do it all at once, but we'll put one in there. See how it matches the color of that one. It's more like a darker chrome color than a shiny chrome. So there, we'll get that guy on there as well. All right, let's just keep him here hanging. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna need some Allen. So let's go and find out. I think I brought all my Allen screws back out here because I was trying to decide which and where I was gonna go with this. All right, so do you want to come with me if you're still recording? Maybe I'll let him take care of the rest, huh? Let's do that. I think I'm always out already. This is about good time recording. Let's see. Let's watch him do it. If he doesn't capture, at least I can capture some. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna tilt him up. Can you see it? Okay. So there we go. Now he is facing opposite from the sun, so it's gonna probably not be the greatest, but he's in there. Let's see how well he does on his own here. The idea is to make sure he captures. Hopefully not the bar. We want to go over the bar. Heck, what's great, you can actually pivot him like this. Look at that. He's freestyling in there. All right. All right, so okay, it's a little smudge here on his window. I'm gonna go ahead and thumb him up. That's it. I heard some people when they take him scuba dive, they just lick the screen. It's kind of nasty. Not sure about licking anything plastic or just the licking part. Okay, so let me go ahead and get underneath. We'll do a parallel shot with him until this actually reaches about 30-minute recording. Then I'll stop it, and I'm hoping to capture the rest of it on the GoPro for you guys. And if I have to, I'll upload it separately. Hopefully you guys can see two versions of me putting the valve, using the valve tool. So this one will go a certain way. Actually, they both have Allen bolts. Actually go any way you want to, really. The Taida exhaust threads are pretty much the same. Any way you look at it, you have Allen. Oh, no, you don't. I apologize. Well, do you? No, this doesn't have a deep enough Allen. Nope, there's not Allen. I thought it wasn't Allen in there. So this one has it. So obviously this is going to be the one protruding out. So this one's going into the cylinder head, exhaust side. Okay, so we're going to get that guy in there. Should thread in pretty easily. Threading it in now by hand. We don't have to put blue Loctite. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay. Maybe we should, I don't know. The heat and everything looks like it sees these guys pretty easily compared to all the other components. Okay, want to make sure that the Allen, can't see it, sorry, but this was the one that's not Allen. And this one is, because you can see how deeper it is, the hole in the eye. So again, that's going to be facing us. And the other end's going to not have Allen's going to be facing inside the cylinder head. I'm sorry, I'm covering the GoPro a little bit. Let me go over. I'm sure GoPro can hear me. GoPro highlight. It's like highlight tagged or something like that. Alright, well, it's at least good for something. It's been recording for what, another 11 minutes and 28 seconds. Again, this is my first GoPro experience ever. I never really took it out or anything. I see people, like, you know, show a lot of cool stuff, what they do with it. Surfing mainly, you know, you see the water, you know, people in the water and stuff like that. It does go 33 feet in the water without any extra casing. You just gotta make sure you close your USB port, of course, because you know, electricity and whatever, this needs to be closed. There's a lid there that closes it up. And I always thought this flap here was actually something for you to back up your you know, a little flap here. It's a little white there. I'll show you. I thought it was something you can actually just put your SD card or something in there. Oh no, it's super dark. But it actually isn't. It's just mainly to I guess mainly to seal the whole socket area here. You know, this is where your connection is, and also your SD card goes into. It kind of goes into a weird slanted way. But yep, that's the advantage of having a GoPro, I guess, because it's small. It's not that small. It's still good, about maybe 1.5 inches all around. Maybe a little bit more, by a little bit more, just than an inch. Not 1.5 inches, maybe a little bit lesser than 1.5 inches, but it's still pretty big still. It's not that micro small. All right, so this is it, and we're gonna leave the rest to GoPro.